right, welcome everybody to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando. That's Corey. We're doing Kiss the Reviews. This is our first video. I'll have Corey explain to you a little bit about exactly what we do and why we're called Kiss the Reviews.
I have no idea. We had this little idea. Armando and I are, I guess, cinephiles, like Michael Bolton.
Don't
We're
ever
big
say
time,
that. Don't
big
say
time
that.
cinephiles. No, we were watching Kiss the Girls. Fantastic movie, right? That's what we always thought growing up. Turns out it's kind of dog shit.
It's terrible.
So we decided that after watching Kiss the Girls, we had every right to have an opinion about it because it's so unbelievably horrible.
And everybody has an opinion, so there you go.
Yeah. So, Kiss the Girls, 1997, starring Morgan Freeman, Ashley Judd, and Carrie Elwes. And the IMDb description, one-sentence description, is: police hunting for a serial kidnapper are helped when a victim manages to escape for the first time. I don't know if that's a very accurate description.
No, that's not a description at all. I would have described it as serial rapist.
That's kind of what caught me, too.
Kidnapped, impossible murder? Or is he a definite murderer?
Yeah, he's a murderer because he leaves him on the trees.
Kidnaps a forensic psychologist / cop, his niece, and then he butts his nose into every fucking jurisdiction's business until he catches... He doesn't even catch you know what? Until he finds his niece, and then he leaves the case alone. That's
I think that's literally the most accurate description that could ever be made.
What a pile of shit.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. So it starts off with this ridiculous narration.
It's the creepiest intro of all time.
It is the vocal equivalent of Vince Vaughn's Norman Bates masturbating to Anne Heche in the shower. Well, in case you don't know what masturbating is, that's how it works.
That's how that looks.
So... I mean, it really is. It's this husky voice and talking about moms and daughters.
Well, and that's the other thing. And I want to nip this in the bud right from the beginning. So the guy
real talk. Are we allowed to do that anymore?
Like, apparently, we're stealing that. And he's in trouble. So anyway, the guy Casanova, as they call him, is basically a hillbilly cop.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoilers.
It's only 22 years old, so
this movie contains all kinds of spoilers. So he's a hillbilly cop who apparently changes his voice from talking like this, like, man, Nat Casanova, he's stealing people and everything. And then when he cuts to this intro, when he opens the movie and when he's with the girls, he gets into this, hey, let me touch your face.
And that's 2 of 3 voices. Because he adds a third one in the end that he just sounds like a normal human male. It is... He is purposefully doing what Leonardo DiCaprio accidentally did with his accents in Gang of New York. It's just... Exactly. This guy's vocal range is amazing.
So here's my... I mean,
he's the Beyonce of serial killers. Let's just say it.
So here's my notes on just the intro. So creepy ass intro.
Yes.
Casanova lived in these girls' attics. For how long does he state a period of time that he's lived in these girls' attics? And then it says lived in the attics of girls that did he know them? Did they know him? Did he just because in the middle of the night apparently he just showed up and one of them got really into it. She's a fucking psycho too. You guys should have gotten married and had kids, and that would have been the end of the movie. 3-minute movie. I'm good with that.
Yeah, it's fine.
But did they know him, or was he just stalking them? Did he come down the stairs to eat or shit ever? Was he up there for months? What was the time frame? This is all going through my head in a 4-minute intro.
Yes, we haven't even met Alex Cross yet.
No, there's nothing going on yet.
We're not there yet.
Yeah.
We haven't even creeped into the plot of the movie.
That's the next scene.
This is just a narration with a burning fire. It's like a smoldering fire in the background that is clearly CGI. Just show a real fire. Why do you spend
I
your
know.
budget on CGI? You could have got 2 more writers to pump this fucking script up and knock
Dude,
some plot holes
a
down.
log of wood is like $1.50,
Right?
especially in '97. So we'll skip to when you meet Alex Cross,
Yes.
because you meet Alex Cross. Basically, he's teaching kids boxing for some random reason.
Yes. Because he's a good guy.
Yeah, he helps the community.
Yeah.
That's cool. I get it. You're building his character. And then he gets the call. He shows up at a crime scene.
And he ditches the kids.
Yes.
Doesn't call their parents. Doesn't tell anybody.
No, he just leaves. He goes, I gotta
anybody
go,
else
kids.
in the gym.
We'll
Like,
see.
hey, man, make sure all these kids get home. There's
Well-
12 kids that have to break up into teams and punch the heavy bag. And he never tells them when they're allowed to stop. He just says, go hit the heavy bag.
But you
I got to go.
You get to the crime scene, and I get it. They're trying to build him into this, whatever. So never mind the dead body, broken glass. Alex Cross wants to smell the glass of bourbon on the fireplace. And then he wants to talk to this woman. I think it's at the 5-minute mark. He goes into the room where that woman's held up.
This is where I get confused.
Yes.
Okay, because he's strolling through a crime scene.
An active crime scene.
And I mean, literally like just looking around. And meanwhile, the other detectives,
That's peculiar.
The other detectives are asking him questions about what he's seeing at the crime scene. Does it look like this? Does it look like that? And he gives him this look like, motherfucker, we're on the same team. So I'm sitting here while this is happening going, oh, okay, double murder. He's looking at the clues, bodies in duct tape, blah, blah, blah. Smells the bourbon. Very intuitive.
I guess.
And then he walks up to a room, knocks on the door, and starts talking to I'm like, is he talking to the dead body? What happened?
I thought there was two dead bodies in the house.
I thought he was investigating a double murder. Turns out there's a woman in the corner with a gun in her mouth. No other cops around. They're just all looking at the rest of the dead body.
They were looking at the dead body on the floor.
Yeah.
There was not a single cop standing guard outside the room. I don't know, in case the woman came out and shot her way out, or in case she shot herself. There was nobody talking to her. They're like, we're just going to shut the door, Miss Lady, and then we'll have somebody come and talk to you, which Alex Cross does a bang-up job.
Oh, just obliterates it. If you thought the beat cops that just thought she was having her woman times and wanted her to be left alone and she'd get over everything, Alex Cross shows
what a
true
horrible
incompetence is.
psychologist. What a horrible psychologist.
And he's a forensic psychologist.
Yes.
Now, to my mind, when he first walks in and is studying the
we
crime
probably should have
scene,
looked up what that means. I don't even know what that means.
I have a generalized idea. And being a middle-aged white male, I feel like that's good enough that makes me able to give my opinion.
Okay.
So
I can get down with that.
basically, he rereads crime scenes.
Yeah.
And understands okay, he was able to see the bourbon broken and the tape and realize, he's this guy was a wife beater.
Yeah.
The wife had it, shot him. He figured all of that out with sniffing the bourbon and seeing the dead body. Nobody else could, though.
When I sniff bourbon, I just go, I want a glass of bourbon.
I was like, you just drink it. Have you ever really sniffed a bourbon, or you
No.
just pour it?
No, you just hold your breath and down it.
Yeah.
That's
Attaboy.
what you do. But the best part is the next part where he starts talking to the woman because he's like, hey, don't put that gun in your mouth.
Yeah.
You want to do nothing?
I want to talk to you.
I just want to talk.
Yeah, you need your mouth to talk. You can't be like, oh,
Let's just talk.
yeah, you got to go from here to here.
And I'll let you take this one because this shows what a horrible, if he is a psychologist at all or a professional, anything. I'm not a professional cop, psychologist, forensic psychologist, psychiatrist, but I know not to tell people to fucking kill themselves at a crime scene.
Yeah, his anti-suicide technique, the way to talk somebody down, is pretty much the equivalent to Will Ferrell and the other guys. Telling the guy, I don't think you got the guts to jump, Don.
He said, hey, listen, I get it. You killed your husband. You had to do what you had to do.
Yep.
And now it's time to finish it off.
Yep. You did fine. First, he tells her to take the gun out of her mouth, and he says, hold it to your temple. Still just as effective at your temple. And I'm not paraphrasing. He says it's still just as effective. So she complies because, hey, good idea. I can talk to you and still kill myself when you say something bad. Which he does a second time.
Yes.
Tells her to put the gun to her head. And then, what did he tell her? I forget.
I have no idea.
Shit. Oh, well, you can tell it was very important. But
It was
you can
super
take
impor-
my word for
It
it.
was super important in the setup of the character.
You can take my word for it that, yeah, he was basically accidentally encouraging a woman to shoot herself
Yes.
twice.
Yes. But
Phenomenal.
But here's the thing, and then it cuts to him getting the call that his niece
Naomi.
was taken.
Correct.
Yes. Here's the funny thing. So he gets down to the precinct, right? He calls, lets them know like he's coming down. It's his niece.
Yep.
Whatever. He gets down there, and this happens in every like cop movie, investigation, whatever. It's not in your jurisdiction.
Yeah, this was their heat of the night moment because he's going
Yeah.
to North Carolina. He's a Washington, D.C. forensic psychologist detective
Yes.
because that exists. And actually has to go to North Carolina where he has no jurisdiction. None.
But he talks his way into it because it's my niece.
Yeah, it's my niece. That's all you have to say. Apparently in the South, all you have to say is...
My niece gets you everywhere.
It's my niece. Now, here was the one thing that I found phenomenal. And correct me if I'm wrong, this is the world we live in. This is a black man driving from Washington, D.C. to North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
So he's passing at least through Virginia.
Yeah.
If my geography stands. So he's going through Virginia and North Carolina in a black Porsche Boxster.
Yes.
He didn't get pulled over. The first sign of racism is when he actually walked into the police department. And he says, "I'm forensic detective Alex Cross." And the white cop behind the desk looks at his badge and he's just awestruck. This black man's a detective and a doctor. By golly, gee whiz, what is happening? It is phenomenal. He just cruised on in.
Here's
and then
worst.
Every cop he met gave him massive amounts of shit.
Like, here's one of the shits that he got was when he gets into the precinct, he's met with, "Sorry to make you wait for 2 hours."
Yep, they made him wait for 2.5 hours.
They made him wait for 2 hours. We have a laid back way down there. There's been like 8 women kidnapped. 3 are dead.
And they just caught a new one. They just caught a new body. They were not out at the body, and that's why they made him wait.
That's the third one. That's the third one. But we have a laid back way down here. In what? The population has got to be 4,000 in that little fucking area that they're in.
Yeah, at least.
It's in the fucking...
Well, it was. Now it's about 3,997. Because 3 of them just went missing.
Oh, but listen.
Unbelievable.
8 women have been taken at the very least. That's all we know about.
Yeah.
Because who knows how long he's been doing this.
Yes.
3 are dead. They just found the third body, and it's not in order of who was taken. So they're like, he's just like randomly killing these bitches.
Yep.
And what? So
never asked R. Kelly one question.
But
he does some shit.
But we have a laid back way down here, so we're gonna crack some jokes, make you wait, and yeah, we'll go. And on the way to the body, Alex Cross asks them, because he just listen. I'll tell everybody this. He just wants to know, he's in it for his niece. Once his niece is found, he don't give a shit. He goes, was the woman black? Was she white? Do you know? And they said, we know nothing.
No, nothing.
They get there. There's 700 cops on the scene. They know nothing?
And they know nothing. Show a flash cut of the woman's hands, which are white.
No, mind you, they could have been red because she was covered in blood. But there's blonde, stringy hair behind the tree.
Flowing golden locks.
We have no idea who...
We don't know what she is.
She could be an alien. It could be a dog. We're not really sure.
Yes. Have no idea. We called a vet just in case. We called a doctor just in case. We have no idea what's happening.
Let's get into the thing, because this is literally just the setup to this crazy movie.
We haven't even met Ashley Judd yet, and she is the co-star.
Yes. So he meets the FBI agent. I believe it's Kyle Craig.
Yes.
I think.
Yes.
So Kyle Craig calls Casanova because they know each other from previous jobs, yada, yada, yada.
Yep.
Him and Alex Cross. So they're walking in the woods away from the body, and he's asking Kyle, the FBI agent, about, killer's motives, what's he like? To which you made a really good point through the whole movie, and I don't know if it's the director or whoever trying to make the audience think that the FBI agent's one of the killers,
Right.
but he's very flippant about
Just doesn't care.
Almost like he takes joy
Oh,
in all of the murders
One
and
of-
whatever. So
one of the most horrific lines delivered, and I'll let you do that, is because I don't think I'm allowed to say that, but one of the most horrific lines is delivered. It's delivered with a smile.
yes. So he says, as they're talking in the woods, walking away from the body, FBI agent Kyle Craig calls Casanova a real student of the game.
Admires him.
And he says he's a real student of the game, and then kind of turns, gives a smile, and goes, an enthusiastic rapist.
Talking to the uncle of a kidnapped victim. Who he knows.
what
That's
the
his
hell?
friend, too. That's his boy. They've worked together before,
Yes.
and he's just glib as fuck
It's
about
so
his
funny.
niece, dude. Like,
And then
how does that happen?
But not only that, and then after that, he says, and the vaginal tears are nothing like I've ever
Yeah.
seen before. Like, he was just...
Agent Craig is a connoisseur of vaginal tearing. He has read up on all the latest writing, the journals, every medical paper published about
This is already...
vaginal tearing has
We're
reviewed.
We're only 10 minutes in, maybe 12 minutes in.
Yes. It's completely off the rails
This
already.
is ridiculous. So, flash forward, Ashley Judd, I almost called her Naomi Campbell for some reason. I don't know why. Ashley Judd, that name was just in my head, gets seen and kidnapped.
Yes.
Okay. You're going to see this throughout the whole movie. So we already know before watching this movie, because it's like 80 years old, that one of the cops is also Casanova.
Yes.
And I see a pattern developing, starting with this kidnapping. So he breaks into her house while she's still sleeping. He's making all this fucking noise.
Oh, the most noise ever.
She wakes up and is like, I think I hear some shit.
Yeah.
And then it's like her instincts take over, which I call bullshit on all that. But you hear a noise, whatever, grab a gun, go shoot some shit. But anyway, so she's like, okay, fuck, there's somebody in my house. He's closing curtain. It's the middle of the night.
Yeah.
He's closing curtains. He's setting...
Ashley Judd's got a lot of peeping toms.
He's setting a fish tank at the bottom of her stairs so he can sneak behind her. And in case she gets away, spoiler alert, she gets away every fucking time.
Oh, yeah.
All these bitches get away every time they try.
The only reason
She
doesn't get away is because he home aloned her. If she had made it to the kitchen where the micro machines were, she would have died immediately. She would have broke her neck.
Oh, yeah, she'd have CTE.
She opened the door to run out, fire right on her head. He pulled out every one of Macaulay Culkin's hits, bro.
Here's the thing. The fish tank's at the bottom of the stairs. She sees the fish tank from the top of the stairs and can't control her speed. No. Crashes into it.
She's like a newborn deer. She's just just all limbs.
So he sticks her with the needle of whatever and takes her away.
Now this is after.
He knew she was going to get away. And that's why he home aloned her.
Yes, 100%.
That's why his bat cave is in the middle of nowhere. Just in case these bitches get away. He knows they're going to get away. Because he's a terrible cop. Even at the end in the little fight scene, she whoops the shit out of him.
It'd be one thing if he was a terrible cop.
He is a trained police officer.
Totally one thing if he's a terrible cop, because he's not being a cop at that moment. He's being a serial rapist, killer, kidnapper. But he's a terrible one of those too. He's a terrible one. Every part of his career path is dog shit.
Listen, I'm gonna say I've never read these books, and I've heard the books are great.
Yeah, pretty good.
You have read them?
A few of them, yeah.
Okay.
There's like 408.
Oh.
Alex Cross is like the world's most interesting man. He's drinking a Dos Equis right now.
I don't got that kind of time. So I haven't read any of these books. So I'm not gonna say the books are trash. But if the books are as ridiculous as this shit is, how are there that many books? I don't understand.
Well,
I don't get it.
Because not very many people read books.
Okay.
We open books and we look at the pages.
Well, let's move on then.
We're not trying to read that shit.
So, do you have any notes from because we went from taking copious notes
Oh, we were going
to
off.
like just kind of giving a nice overview, because it gets so if you break it down to the scene by scene, shot by shot, minute by minute breakdown and review, we'd be here for 4 hours.
Oh yeah, we could do
So-
this for days. I do have one note, because in between all of the Ashley Juddness and the serial kidnapper / rapist / killer, Alex Cross is hot
There
on
should
the
be
case.
really one name if you do all of that.
I think it's just
Like Psycho.
crazy. So Alex Cross is doing his detective work
Yeah.
only for Naomi, not going to any other victim's house trying to pick up a pattern. He's just going to check out Naomi's stuff. He goes into her room, her dorm room or apartment, wherever she's living on campus in the research triangle, and sees that there are pages of notes or pages of music missing along with her violin.
Yes.
Now, the violin is going to come into play later in this movie
Yes.
in multiple ways.
It sure will.
And as we established with this watching, at least 10 times
Yes.
that violin came into play.
Yes.
At least 10 times.
Yes.
So he sees this, and this is how he starts to develop the pattern of the women he's taking being, very smart, strong-willed, blah, blah, blah. But pay attention to the violin as this story continues.
Yes. So they cut to, it's at like the 40-minute mark. She's been taken. She's in the Batcave.
Ashley Judd is in the Batcave.
Yes.
Yes.
Who did I say? Or did I not?
You just said she.
Okay. So Kate, I'll just say Kate from now on. Kate is in the Batcave. She's yelling out to other girls in the cells. And I wrote, wait, other cells? So there's multiple cells in this cave.
Yes.
And I just started writing a ton of notes on the questions I had. So
Like, where was Alfred?
this is when, and this is the question I had about Batman. When somebody had to build the Batcave. Did they just kill all the guys that built the Batcave?
Yeah.
So like nobody said anything? So this is when money becomes an issue again for me. How does this guy on a cop's salary afford this place? Because, and somebody pointed out that, and I read this online, that the other guy was a plastic surgeon, so he had the money.
He had the money. Our guy's a cop in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Because
So-
here's another spoiler. There are 2 killers, boys.
Yes, they're bi-coastal.
Yes.
But he's not the plastic surgeon's never seen this place. You're gonna give a cop money sight unseen for some fucking Batcave dungeon?
And this isn't like a cave. I mean, like the Batcave is a cave.
Yes.
He just has it like technologically souped up.
Yeah.
Right. This cave is like an underground
Prison.
maze.
Yeah.
There are multiple tunnels. There are multiple entrances and exits.
Yeah.
It's all somehow they got electricity there. By the way, because there is working lighting and no generator ever heard running.
Yeah.
So they have electricity.
There is a house 2 miles away, so maybe they
That's
ran
true.
an extension cord.
I gotta go to Walmart, girls. I gotta pick up my extension cord to light this place. Kiss me.
Kiss me.
Unbelievable. That's his big line. That's when you know you're about to die, is when Casanova goes, "Kiss me."
But I want to know, okay, if I don't think that the plastic surgeon gave him the money. I just don't think that happened, because they weren't friends. They were competing against each other.
Right.
So I don't think he would have given them. So again, this goes back to on a cop salary, how can he afford that place? And if let's say he saved the money, like, ooh, I need to get my big murder rape dungeon, right? He saved the money, put it in a savings account and everything. Okay, saved all his nickels and dimes and had enough money. Where did he find it? Did he just go on Zillow and like, ooh, here's a good fucking cave with cages and shit in it?
Dude, it's North Carolina. You know some white trash militia. Some bitch knew exactly where that was.
And I know Zillow didn't exist in 97, but still. was he just squatting? Like, did he buy it? Or was he just like in the woods one day like, holy shit?
I'm going to lean towards squatting just for the simple fact that he's a serial kidnapper slash rapist slash
Yes.
murderer.
Yes.
So,
and we've established he's not really good at doing that either.
right.
So he didn't care if anybody caught him.
And I don't think if he's not good at planning, like his serial killing or policing, I don't think he could budget.
Yeah.
I don't think he has the discipline to budget out the length of time it would take to save the money. So he's absolutely a squatter.
Was there a real estate agent? And was she a woman? And was she his first victim?
We just got the prequel.
Should we start shooting next week?
Yep.
I can knock out a script.
We're just going to call it Kiss the Girl because it's about one.
Kiss the first girl.
Yep. Kiss the realtors.
But then, after this, she breaks free, right?
Yep.
She breaks free. She gets away because, again, he's horrible at what he does.
And she is very good at Taibo kickboxing.
Yes, the Taibo guy's actually in this thing, so it's fantastic. So she learns Taibo from the master.
Yep.
She fucks this dude up. She gets out. She runs. She jumps off a cliff, almost hits 18,000 rocks into the water, and away she goes. 2 days later, she's holding a press conference and okay, listen, I'm not, yay, rock, good for her, women rock,
yep.
You're a strong woman. 2 days later, you're holding a press conference, basically calling the dude a pussy, like
and
calling him out. Like,
there's bass in her voice.
You know where I am, and I will fuck you up again.
I'm not afraid of you. And
listen,
you kind of are because you literally jumped off a cliff to get away from it. If I'm not afraid of something, I'm not jumping off a cliff to get away from it.
This has nothing to do with women or anything. If I am victimized, you could steal, I don't know, a pen out of my car while I go into the gas station to pay for something. I'm already afraid. Like, okay, I guess I'm a bit of a wuss. I get it, okay? I'm not messing anybody up. I'm not going on TV, especially if you beat the hell out of me, drugged me, where I had to run through the woods and risk death to get away from you. I am for sure as shit am not doing two things, which she does both of them. I am not holding a press conference and calling you out.
Yep.
And two, I am not butting my fucking nose into the cops' business and trying to get trips to LA to try to catch the other guy.
No.
You know what I'm doing? I'm sitting at home like, hey, good luck, guys.
I'm sitting in witness protection until the fucking trial is over. Sitting at home? No. That's where he got me. That's where he Macaulay Culkin me. We are skipping over one important scene.
Okay.
Before the triumphant press conference of Ashley Judd. And really, she's pissed off because she's got survivor's guilt. That's what's going through her head. Because she constantly is yelling at all the police that are saying, you shouldn't be involved in this. She goes, I'm not a tourist because I didn't get raped. No, you're not a tourist, but you're also not a victim.
But you're not a cop either.
Right, exactly.
Butt the fuck out.
But the important part here is Ashley Judd is unconscious. And this is an important time for Alex Cross to once again establish he is only in this for his niece.
Yes.
He is a policeman.
Sorry I skipped over this because this is great.
He is a policeman only as far as his family goes. Everybody else can literally kiss his ass. Because Ashley Judd is basically in a medically induced coma, and the medical team are unable to determine what is destroying her central nervous system.
Yes.
Because Casanova has been drugging all of his victims.
Yes.
To help break them down.
Yes.
So he comes up, because he's a forensic psychologist, with this wonder drug that has been used for treating cancer patients.
Yeah,
coming out of chemotherapy.
Yep.
And this is going to make them feel better. So, on a whim, he says, we should try this. I've read a lot of reviews. And the doctor, the general practitioner, whatever she is, running the hospital, says, okay. I should read some of those papers first.
She didn't even look into
and what was it, after
the PDR, the physician desk review, or whatever the hell it is.
He looked it up. Yeah. And the PDR and just went, it's in there. And she went, cool.
She took his word.
Cool. You're a forensic psychologist. You must know how to treat chemotherapy patients. Like, are you friggin' kidding me? So the doctor agrees to this experimental thing that is possibly going to wake Ashley Judd up
Yes.
slash save her.
Yes. She does it. She wakes up.
And he does it simply to question her.
Yes. Because she needs her to talk.
About who else
because
was in there.
he knows his niece has very few moments left
Yes.
before she or ever all the other girls die.
The clock is ticking.
Yes. So, and let's face it, he doesn't care about any of the other girls. So he's just worried about his niece. He's like, listen, she's got like fucking hours. Like we need to question this woman. You need to give her this shit. She wakes up and he's immediately on top. He's sitting there
while she's sleeping. He's watching her sleep.
Because visiting hours don't apply to him.
It's my niece. So he asks her immediately, what did you hear? What did you see? What did you smell? This woman has been through hell.
Yeah.
Jumped off a cliff into a shallow river that carried her miles downstream.
Yes.
To get away from this torture she's been going through. Hey, what did you hear? What did you relive all of this for me, quick as you can, please?
Just really quick though, because I just need to find my niece.
And then Morgan Freeman says, "My niece Naomi was also taken." And Ashley Judd goes,
Naomi
she
Cross
was there.
I heard her. I talked to her.
Yes, we talked. We spoke. And he oh, thank you. Puts his head down. That's the scene.
He immediately gets up and walks out.
The next scene is her going to the press conference. What the fuck? How do you do that?
That's freaking fantastic.
That's horrible writing. That's horrible editing.
That's not even horrible. That's just lazy.
It is. It is.
This is why, you know what? Alex Cross is like the hero of this movie. This is why Alex Cross is the most horrible person alive.
Yes.
Like he's just like, is my niece okay? She is. She's still alive. You just talked to her yesterday? Fucking sweet. Cool. I'm out of here.
I'm out of here. Get this chick up on camera right now. I need her talking some shit.
We need her to be a pawn in our freaking little police game here.
I need the serial kidnapper / rapist / murderer who we have no clues on whatsoever to want to focus his attention back on Ashley Judd, not my niece.
Yeah. And then this is where it gets like, it's already off the rails for me. But then, and this is what I hate about all of these thrillers and police movies where whatever the victim is, whether it's just a break-in or in this case, they're getting kidnapped and whatever, they start being a part of the investigation. Like, this shit would never happen.
Which, again, along with the jurisdiction thing with Alex Cross, this is so not allowed.
It's all illegal.
I'm not a lawyer. I don't know about science, but no, I'm not a lawyer. But I can tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt that a witness under no circumstances is allowed to actively participate in stakeouts of the suspects, cross-country travel.
I want to know,
she became Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Did she have to pay for that trip herself, or was that on Alex's account?
I'm sure it was. Hey,
he was like,
you know what?
He's like, just put it on my credit card. Yeah. It's for my niece. The police station, they'll just write it off.
Yeah, he flew first class, never paid a dime for either of them, because all he did was show his badge and say, it's my niece.
He always has fucking him and a +1 for everything.
Yep, and it's usually his niece.
Yeah, like my niece. That bitch is always in trouble. Oh, but then
so now they're going to LA because Ashley Judd is the one that figured out that he's bi-coastal.
Yes.
Which even Alex Cross goes, where'd you hear that term? Because apparently in 97, bi-coastal is a very technical, jargony thing to describe serial killers. So she jumped on Alta Vista, because it's 97.
She went on Ask Jeeves.
She put in her AOL CD, and the computer butler told her that what bi-coastal means.
Yes.
So she learned a lot about serial killers
in like a day and then here's the other thing. So Kate then forces her way, as she's done since being kidnapped.
Since Jump Street.
Like, literally, the kidnapper should have just let her go and let her be. Like, just,
well, yeah, waking her up is honestly one of the worst things that ever happened. He should have
just killed her. But, so, Kate then forces her way, as she's done the whole movie, since escaping the kidnapping. She gets into the club where, I don't even know what Jeremy Piven's character's name is, but does a very terrible job of keeping her in the vehicle,
Yes.
which is what his only job of the evening is.
Which is hilarious because they're in LA now. Jeremy Piven's an LA detective.
Yes.
He's the only one legally allowed to be doing any of this surveillance. They are technically
there's
stalkers.
another cop from
They are
Washington.
stalking right now. An innocent person completely violating his Fourth Amendment rights. Just completely rolling
I'm
that
glad
over.
you looked that up. So
Unbelievable.
she forces her way into the club and basically just tells Jeremy Piven, like, you're going to help me or I'm going to fuck you up too. Like, get your hand off of me because I'm going to tie-bow your ass. And then he just goes, okay, stay here. Let me go find Alex Cross. Where Jeremy Piven goes, I have no idea because 2 seconds later, she finds Alex and just goes and stands in front of him like, hey, what's up, homie?
Wait.
We look. Is that him? We looking at this guy?
She is genuinely the best and worst cop in this movie. I don't even know how she pulls it off. It's one of the best acting performances of all time because she's so incredibly stupid.
Yep.
But she's the only reason any of these guys make any headway whatsoever.
Exactly. And then they go through the whole cat and mouse. They find the dude's house because he gets away on the stakeout.
It's a cabin in the woods. Of course, it's a serial killer's house.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely.
Duh.
So he gets away, and then they find like his house. That's his house, right?
Yes, he's got a condo.
Yeah.
Also.
And then so they find that, and where the FBI agent goes apeshit on Alex Cross because he's screwed up, but he's done nothing wrong.
And then shows him around.
And then the FBI agent is more flippant about the rest of it.
Yeah.
And really happy to show him that he's got feet in his little fridge and, whatever.
Oh, they make a very big point, too, to say that they did, like, basically an X-ray of the wall.
Yes.
And found what the team described as a lunar module. No, it's a freezer box. It's a freezer. Have you seen the lunar module?
It's a restaurant freezer. That's basically what it is. It's a smaller version of a restaurant freezer.
Which wasn't cold either. So it was basically just a box.
So when they go through that whole rigmarole, the local cops find a way to fuck things up over there because they arrest the professor who's just apparently a pervert.
Yes.
And is not broken any laws.
After the boys in LA have gotten Jeremy Piven, the only one legally allowed to be there,
killed.
Shot.
I don't know. Did they say
he said
died?
He's going to be in a lot of recovery.
Oh, okay.
They say he's going to be in rehabbing for years.
So they didn't get him killed. They were like, "Hey, nice to meet you. Can we stalk this guy under your jurisdiction, please?" And then they get him shot, and then they all just leave again.
Yeah, well, it's because they made him a babysitter. and then when Jeremy Piven's getting shot, he's left by himself. Alex Cross and his buddy go to the right, and they tell Jeremy Piven, "Yeah, you go that way."
Yeah.
No. No.
So here's the.
I'm calling back up.
Yeah. Here's the issue because the next is just them searching through the woods in Carolina trying to find the Bat Cave. Here's the thing: when they find the Bat Cave, Alex Cross, first of all, there's no stealthiness on his part as a cop.
None.
I'm sorry, you learn a few things. One of them is, hey, can you try not to alert the guys that were here?
That's a good first step.
Good, you would think. He finds this. He hears a gunshot because the two killers are now arguing in this bat cave.
Yes.
One shoots at the other.
He's above ground.
Yes.
He hasn't made it to the cave yet.
Yeah.
That's the only way he actually finds the entrance to the cave is the gunshot.
Yeah. So he's following where he thought he heard.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of anything in the woods?
Oh,
the shit sounds like it's all around you. You're not running in one direction.
No.
You're just not. So I've seen Blair Witch. I know how this works. So he runs. He finds the little door where I'm assuming Ashley Judd escaped, where it wasn't locked before. Now it's locked. So he's got the chains, the little lock. So instead of looking for maybe, I don't know, a front entrance, a side entrance, something that doesn't have a lock on it, he just goes, shit, this must be the only way into this motherfucker. They just locked themselves in there. So he shoots the fucking thing, alerting everybody within a fucking 3-mile radius that somebody just let off a gun. And now these guys are scrambling to get the fuck out of there.
This is 20 minutes after they did a thing about the property where they're searching.
Yes.
And the fact that there are tunnels on this property. And they have blueprints of where the tunnels run in and out of.
Yeah.
Why are you searching for anything? You literally have an entrance.
Here's the funny thing. They didn't bring those maps.
Yeah.
They left the maps.
They're just walking around the forest.
They're just walking
Cruising.
around. So
If it was a rest area, they would got arrested for some gay shit.
yeah, so
Nothing wrong
so
with that. I'm just saying. If you do it at a rest area, you're going to get arrested.
You will get arrested. Corey knows. So
Mhm.
they get in there. The FBI agent is so happy. Ship all of this stuff to my private office. I need to, in my private quarters because I need to review everything. They find all the women. The women get all saved. They all get taken to the hospital wherever they got to go.
Well, we don't really know that.
I mean,
Naomi goes to the hospital. We never see the other girls
the FBI
the
agent.
rest of the movie.
The FBI agent has his fun apparently.
Can you imagine
That's
being
part
an
3.
extra in a movie where your only role is to be tied to a chair while the co-stars, not even stars, the co-stars of the movie
are
just groping your breasts. And you're being told your only direction is to cry harder. You're shooting a snuff film. Can you imagine trying to be an actor that badly?
Dude, that's terrible.
Right?
That is terrible. We should look up those actresses to see if they've done anything since. Because
hopefully found other jobs, because that's degrading.
That is fucking degrading.
You're better than that,
and I'll be honest, if I did that and that was my role, I'd have been like, wow, show business sucks ass.
Yeah.
A guy just like tweaked my nipples for 7 hours on set today. And then I got to go back and do it tomorrow. And I have no speaking parts in the movie. I got paid $47 because that's what it is.
Yeah.
Any extra no speaking role, you're not going to be, I don't even think, do you get craft services?
Oh, I think you do, but it's more like SpaghettiOs. And you don't get to warm them up.
The only craft services you get is craft singles.
Yeah.
Like you get cheese.
You don't even get the bread to make a cheese sandwich. You just get cheese.
They just throw cheese at you like they did with the babies.
Yep. There you go.
So we go. So, yes, we don't know what happens to the extras when they get saved, when they get quote unquote
hopefully
saved.
They all got jobs in like waitressing or something.
Yes, hopefully.
Because Alex Cross isn't going to help him find shit.
No, because all he cares about is his niece.
Yes.
So Alex sees his niece in the hospital. This is
unbelievable.
Same day, next day, something like that.
Unbelievable.
This is the one thing that made me lose my mind. So, and I didn't notice this until we saw it today. And he gives the violin. He has the violin case.
Violin is back
for Naomi. He opens the case and says, "Ta-da!"
The ta-da. I've never noticed the ta-da before.
I didn't notice that until this time.
It's unbelievable.
And so this violin, which she's poured her heart and soul into. Apparently, she's in college playing the violin, and
she's on a violin scholarship.
Yeah, who knew that existed? But sure, I'll suspend disbelief.
In the research triangle, by the way.
Yes. So she's been playing her heart out. She plays in the orchestra or whatever she does in college. And not only does Casanova know this, so when he kidnaps her, he kidnaps the violin. I don't know if he kidnapped the violin, but he steals the violin and the sheet music and makes her play like every day.
Yes.
Incessantly. The whole time she's there.
10 days.
So we find out at the end that he's also like raping her
10 days.
For 10 days. So she's
her play the violin.
Yes, and then getting assaulted.
And then getting sexually assaulted.
Yes. So she's playing the violin and getting assaulted apparently all day, every day for 10 days.
Play the violin, get assaulted, get drugged. Play the violin.
Alex Cross, her loving uncle, grabs the violin. He has the presence of mind in that situation.
Yes.
Because he chases these sons of bitches through the woods and shoots and kills one.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So apparently he turns back and goes, gotta get that violin.
Which is evidence, P.S.
So he gets the violin. He takes all the strings off. And she says, where'd the strings go?
Yeah.
And he goes into his pocket like a fucking magician.
Yep.
And he comes out and he goes, and he just like rolls them out like a deck of cards. And he's like, new strings for new music. That's what he says. New strings for new music.
Yes. New strings to make new music. Now, we need to point something out here with this, okay? This is one of the most infuriating scenes in movie history, okay? We have been led to believe that Dr. Alex Cross, forensic psychologist, detective extraordinaire, saver of women only named Naomi Cross, he's this genius. Unbelievable. Sees things nobody else sees. Reads people better than anybody has ever been able to do it.
Yes.
This woman has been raped
Yes.
every day for 10 days straight.
Yes.
After she has been forced to play the violin.
Yes.
The same day when she's in the hospital.
Yes.
He brings her the violin back and says, new strings for new music. What kind of shriek in the world? Start with the recorder.
How
about
you just leave the fucking violin? Listen,
get her an iPod.
Let's
let
start,
her ease back into it. Just get her an iPod.
Let's just start with the legality of things. How about you just leave the violin in police custody with the sheet music and everything else, because there's fingerprints and there's all kinds of other shit, because he touched the shit.
Yep.
And so why don't you just do that and stop stealing evidence so you can give it to your niece, because everything in this movie is about his niece and his relationship with his niece, which
100%.
apparently isn't awesome because he's terrible. He's the kind of guy who gives his freaking stepson or his son, who he's now divorced with his mom, every birthday, gives him like a Nerf football.
Yeah.
He's that guy. Yeah. He's that dad. You gave her just, even if they said, hey, we're not going to take this into evidence. We already dusted it for Prince. We had it cleaned, and we're going to take the strings off. You can have it and give it to Naomi. I would keep that shit in my closet for like a year.
I'm gonna suggest something wild, and this is actually some advice for all you guys out there who are trying to ever talk to a girl. Ask her if she actually wants the fucking thing. Stop forcing her foreplay into rape on her. What are you doing? That is insane. That is, and you're terrible. A psychologist, bro.
It's terrible.
You just solved a central nervous system eating drug.
Yes.
That no other doctor in North Carolina was able to identify.
Yes.
And you have the idiotic sense to bring that back to her. Yes. After she not even asked. I would think, I don't know, but I would think in that type of situation, asking her opinion, her permission, would never be more important than that time.
I agree with that. Just
Naomi,
a thought. I agree.
Do you want that shitty violin?
Do you want me to buy you a new
play?
Do you want me to? That's the worst Morgan Freeman I've ever heard.
Stick around. I could do it much worse.
Okay. So
I'm not known for my accents.
I totally agree with that. I mean, wouldn't you just go like, hey, we have the violin. Listen, I don't know what he made you do. I don't want to know, or unless you want to tell me, whatever. I'm here for you. Do you want me to buy you a new one? Or you know what? If you say, I don't want to see a violin for 10 years, all right, I'll keep it in my closet.
Cool.
I'll burn it. I'll buy you a new one. You do you.
Yep.
And you let me know what's cool with you.
If you ever need to talk, I'm here.
Here's your goddamn violin.
Ta-da! And he did it like a fucking pop-up clown that scares the shit out of people.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! And the look on her face when he does it is just like, what the fuck? And then she asks about the strings. Sleight of hand. World's all fixed. Now, this is how much, again, they emphasize he only cares about Naomi.
You would think the movie was over right then and there.
As it should have been. Because he's in the woods. Okay, now this is important. He finds a tunnel. He's chasing everybody. Big scene that should have been the climax.
Kills the one guy.
Kills one guy. Knows there are two guys because he runs up to the one killer and literally says, who is he? Just tell me who he is.
And he says earlier in the movie that, a little bit earlier than that he knows there's two guys. Because the FBI agent's like, yeah, I don't think so. It's the same guy. He says, no.
So he's now confirmed it.
Yes.
Has 100% confirmed there are two people. Yep. He shot at both of them. Yep. Killed one. Everybody starts acting like it's done.
They're holding a press conference.
They're holding celebratory.
Yeah.
We did it. Brian Cox is up there playing this.
Yeah, like Alex Cross is leaving town.
Chief.
He's leaving town.
He's done.
And even Ashley Judd meets up with him and says, hey, I know you're leaving, because this shit's over.
Yeah, it's all done.
Why don't you come to my house for dinner? Celebration. We'll eat. Apparently, it only takes an hour and 15 minutes to eat with Ashley Judd.
Yep.
and then she was like, "You'll be out the door by 8:15.
Yep.
You're good to go."
Because he wants to, again, impose himself on Naomi when she's going home.
Yes. Yes.
I got to go to Naomi. She's
So,
going home.
This is when we find out that Nick Runyon, the cop,
By the way, Naomi does have a mother.
yes,
And a
who we
grandma
don't,
and family.
who we don't see the rest of her family
No.
since the opening scenes.
Nope.
Of when she first goes missing.
Alex says we don't even see a phone call where it's like, hey, I found her.
Yeah,
Nothing.
So this is when we find out Nick Runyon, who is the cop, that's the cop's name in the movie, the character's name, is the killer.
Our cop killer.
Yeah, because he starts talking about condoms in her trash and you haven't gotten any in a while, and it gets a little creepy.
And they make it very obvious, too, because the whole time Alex Cross is reviewing his handiwork.
Yes.
He's just like staring at this board of
all
of these women that he accidentally helped while finding his niece.
Yes.
And he's just like, yep,
this
is how we do it.
I did it again.
Yep.
Fucking Alex Cross,
there,
man. You are the
Cross.
man. You are the man. So, yeah. So he finally, I don't even know how he does it because it's across the goddamn room.
Yep.
And he's like, this signature kind of looks like this signature.
Figures out the signature belongs to the cop.
He goes to call Ashley Judd. And this is the most ridiculous fucking scene for me. I should have stopped watching an hour before this, but I didn't.
They should have stopped filming an hour before that.
Yeah. So apparently Nick Runyon, and I apologize, I don't know the actor's name.
Carrie Elwes.
There you go. So
who's fantastic.
He actually plays a really good role.
All of the actors in this do a great. They did the best they possibly could with a dog shit script.
There's great actors in this.
Yes.
They all do a really good job. There's a couple of issues with accents and that kind of thing, but listen, when this happens, I suspend disbelief when it comes to accents. And
well, yeah,
if it's a good movie, I'll enjoy it. Whatever, they did a good job.
It's basically pre-internet, so nobody knew anything about other cultures.
The cop goes in. Alex Cross is trying to call Ashley Judd. She was on the phone. Don't know if she didn't have call waiting, but she hangs up the phone.
Yep,
it's a cordless number, and it's hooked to the phone line that goes like up the wall. He, as a cop, knows that if you want to cut the phone line, you should probably cut it out at the street.
Yeah.
Or at the very least, where it comes into the house. He cuts the one phone, and back then, you're looking at 97, everybody that I knew had multiple phones.
Yeah, you had at least one in the bedroom, one
depending on who you believe in this movie, she's either a doctor or an intern or whatever. She makes enough money to have multiple phones in this house.
Yes.
So he just cuts the phone line to the one phone, but Alex calls and it just keeps ringing. And he can't get through and nobody's answering it. She can't hear another goddamn phone in the house ringing. Not one goddamn phone.
No.
So all of a sudden he's getting away with it. They get to the struggle. She realizes it's him. They wrestle.
After he hands her a knife.
Yes.
She asks him to clean a knife, which I guess is supposed to set up like this tense moment when you're in the theater watching it, and you just go, don't hand him the knife, because you know at this point he's the killer.
Yes.
Like, it's not even, we know Ashley Judd is literally the only person left on Earth who doesn't know he's the killer.
Yes.
And she's starting to figure it out, but still asks him, even though it's very suspicious that he's there and the way he's talking, it's very weird. Yeah. He knows where a colander is in her house.
Yeah.
She's kind of look at him, and then hands him a knife and says, yo, man, rinse this off for me. Because she goes cutting carrots.
Hey, yeah.
Who never washed the carrots, by the way. They were dirty as shit.
If you're cutting fish or chicken, fine. Can you rinse that off? There might be some salmonella on it. Yeah. You're cutting some dirty ass carrots. It's fine. Okay? You want to cut some carrots and then some celery, you're good.
Exactly. I'm
not a chef, but whatever. They get into the little struggle. He realizes it, gives her the knife back for some strange reason. Like, yeah, go ahead, cut me, bitch. And then, like, she cuts him and he's like, yeah. Listen, you know she's going to get away. He's already proved that he's terrible at what he does.
Yes.
They struggle. They fight. He gets his handcuffs out because it's rapey time.
Yep.
He slams her on the table in the kitchen, the little island.
After delivering the same kick. Now, this is how you don't do foreshadowing. If
you
want to write something or whatever. Yes. In the very beginning, when she's showing off her Taebo skills, she gets kicked in the stomach by this rude guy.
Yep.
Okay? They're sparring. It's cool. So she gets kicked in the stomach. Foreshadowing rules would say that this completely throwaway scene should come back later in the movie.
Yep.
literally gets kicked again in the stomach in the exact same way. She learned nothing. She learned nothing.
Well, that's what the
That's
movie's
where that was
telling
supposed to,
you.
like, she knew how to block it all of a sudden and then, threw a couple jabs.
Yeah,
nope.
no.
She got kicked in the stomach,
No,
knocked the fork out.
She kicked him in the face, he kicked her in the stomach, and then he slammed her on the table.
Yep.
She gets knocked out for a second, wakes up, struggles. They fall. Takes out his handcuffs, which I don't know if he was going to handcuff her like this, or she couldn't handcuff her to anything.
No,
really.
she was on a kitchen island.
Yeah. So he takes out his handcuffs for whatever reason and is about to use them. She pulls down all the shit. They fall off. She takes the handcuffs, like, beats the shit out of him, drags him to the stove, which is a weird thing to handcuff somebody to, but whatever. I think it's because he starts grabbing around and she's like, oh, okay, fuck this.
Yeah.
Handcuffs him to the stove. Correct me if I'm wrong. Those his handcuffs?
Yep. 100%.
He's a cop, right?
Hundo P.
He should have a key to that, right?
I would,
but apparently
he's a bad cop.
Apparently him forgot.
If you are a below average, like, you should be fired, but we don't have the ability to really fire people because nobody wants to be a cop right now.
Yeah.
If you're that cop, you're still not losing your handcuff keys.
Yes.
It's not happening.
Yes. Unless she literally physically took them from you.
By the way, handcuff keys are not like house keys where you got to go to like Ace Hardware to get the exact chiseled thing in there.
Yeah.
It's a general key. Just any key will do. A paper clip will do. Don't ask me how I know that, but a paper clip will do.
But here's the other thing. So
it's
he
unbelievable.
pulls. So he struggles, gets a knife. He knows he's handcuffed. He cuts her, apparently pretty deep. But she's a doctor or an intern or whatever. But so she knows what she's doing.
But she's still managing to bleed out.
Yeah, she ties it off, and she's whatever. She's in the corner, far enough away. Alex Cross gets there. He takes out his little bic.
We forgot to explain.
Yes,
that his idea, Carrie Elwese's idea, to get out of these handcuffs, is to pull the oven away from the wall
and let the gas line leak into the house and then blow everybody up.
Here's a tip if you are ever chained to an oven. Kick the oven, whatever handle for the door that you're handcuffed to, kick that off.
It'll come off pretty easily.
Don't tear away the gas. That makes problems worse. Okay, shit is literally going to blow up in your face.
So the gas has only been leaking for, let's call it 30 seconds. Not enough to, fill the house.
Oh no.
With gas. Not yet anyway.
Enough though to get the guy sitting on the floor.
Yes.
Out of his mind, almost dead.
Yes. Yeah, he would be mumbling incoherently, which I guess you could say in his little final monologue he kind of was.
It was basic gibberish.
He was rambling.
Yeah. It's like when your boss says synergy.
And then Alex Cross, I almost called him Alex Jones. I don't think it was him. Putting something in the water, making the frogs gay. So Alex Cross puts his gun down, right? He picks the gun up because they're at their little standoff, and he puts the gun against the box of milk.
Milk, known for cutting down flames and
the muzzle flash,
flame retardant as well as a gas retardant.
I'd like to bring back. I don't know. Is that show still on? The show where they did like dumb movie tricks to see if
like Mythbusters.
Mythbusters.
Yeah.
There you go. They should have tried this on Mythbusters.
Yes.
Like this is one of those things because when I saw it, I went, I'm not smart enough to know if he just shot him, if there's enough gas in the house to blow it up. I personally didn't think so because the gas had only been going off for a couple minutes. But if there was enough gas in the house to blow it up, I'm going to go ahead and call bullshit that shooting through a box of milk or a carton of milk, whatever it was, shooting through the thing of milk to kill the guy would suppress the muzzle flash to the point where it wouldn't blow anything up. Because during the shot, you see the muzzle flash.
By the way, it didn't suppress anything. You just shot through some fucking milk. You just shot a guy.
It didn't suppress
and
anything. It just
talk about
depressed
adding
me.
insult to injury. You shot him and then threw milk in his eyes. Why you gotta go that route? You did nothing to actually stop anybody blowing up. Keep in mind now, too, throughout this whole thing, literally gas has been filling this room. Ashley Judd's already bleeding out and looks...
Yes.
I mean, she looks like dog shit.
Yeah.
She looked worse than when she jumped off a cliff to get away from Casanova originally.
Who had been filling her up with drugs for like 2 days.
And they had gotten into a brief fist fight, and she has a cut on her arm from a butcher knife.
Yes. Fantastic.
She's dying and inhaling loads of gas. Loads of gas. Meanwhile, Alex Cross has noted within 5 seconds of this entire scene that the muzzle flash is why Carrie always wants him to shoot him.
Yep.
He sets it down behind the milk because he knows, as only every forensic psychologist knows, that milk is a flame and gas retardant.
And does a body good.
Yes. It's got loads of calcium in it. It's got to be.
Fucking terrible joke.
It's unbelievable. Your joke is unbelievable.
Yes. My joke is almost as unbelievable as watching this movie. We wasted an hour and 55 minutes on this.
Yes.
And this was, what, 6.6 on IMDb?
6.6 on IMDb, 29% on Rotten Tomatoes. And
here's the
5 stars on Amazon.
It was 4.5. It was like 4.5 or 4.3 on Amazon. Apparently, and that's where I rented it from.
Yeah.
Which made me feel bad. Like I shouldn't have rented it from Amazon because listen, I shouldn't have rented it at all. The $3.99 or whatever the fuck I paid for it was way too much.
You got hosed.
I got absolutely hosed.
Yeah.
Jeff Bezos owes me a $3.99 check. Period.
You'll have about as much luck getting that from him as you will from Jeffrey Epstein.
So, yeah, all in all, horrible movie. It was, the funny thing was when I saw the IMDb score, I was like 6.6. And in my head, I always go back to school and I'm like, okay, 66, that's like a D. Yep. You're 1 point above an F or 2 points. Like that's a D, D minus. That's not good. Rotten Tomatoes, that's like an F.
Yes.
F. Like you don't even get an E for effort.
I don't care what school you're going to. If you get 29%, you're bad.
Yeah.
You have failed.
If you get 29%, you go to another school.
Yeah.
That's just how that works.
Very much so.
I didn't realize. I saw this movie at the theaters when it came out in 97.
Yeah.
And I liked it when it came out. Like,
yeah, no, it was for at least a decade. In my mind, that movie was fantastic.
And it wasn't until years later where I saw it and I was like, God, this is ridiculous. And I had so many questions about it. And I think that's what we want to do with this channel 100%. Is kind of take movies that we really liked and, you know, back in the day and movies or TV shows, whatever, and just kind of review those and see if they hold up still.
Right. Like we got in the pipe, Boys to Men. Lyrics coming up.
Boys to Men is going to be good.
That's going to piss everyone off. Because you know how many babies were born because of Boys to Men songs?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah, girl. Look here, girl. You're just dumb. You don't know what's good for you. But
so,
I do.
Yeah, we'll do Boys to Men. Varsity Blues is another one. There's quite a few that we have in the pipe. So,
and if you have any suggestions, write in those comments. Yep. Let us know. We will absolutely review what you guys want us to.
And honestly, I want to cover movies that are good. I'd love to tear apart good movie, like just, and not even tear apart like this is a terrible movie. We just happen to cover a terrible movie and review a terrible movie, but it was something that we really liked years ago. Exactly. So that's kind of what we're looking to do. But if there's something that you really like that you don't think stands the test of time, let us know. We'll do it. Other than that, I think we're good. Here's the other thing. So this one's going to be in studio. Moving forward, we live in 2 different states. We just happen to be together, and we decided to do it this weekend. But yeah, moving forward, we'll be doing it via FaceTime, Skype, whatever.
Interwebs.
The interwebs.
The magical workings of the interwebs
will
bring us together.
We're old, but we ain't stupid. So we'll be trying to get these out weekly. But yeah. Thanks for everybody for watching. Leave some comments, like, subscribe, all that happy stuff. And let us know what you think. For Corey, I'm Armando. And we are what? Kiss the Reviews?
Kiss the reviews, baby.
There you go.
See ya.
ya.